lot of people out there are underestimating how good Princess Peach Showtime is, and I'm here to tell you guys that it's actually not as bad as you would think, because maybe you played the demo and it sucked and you think it's a baby game for babies and little girls and 6-year-old girls, but as a 20-year-old girl myself, I actually really enjoyed the game, so I want to tell you guys all about it, and you can make an educated adult decision for yourself to see if it's a game you would be interested in. So let's get started. Now, when I was playing this game, I didn't want to just, play it over a course of time like every other YouTuber out there. I set out with one goal, and that was to stream the entire thing and beat it in one sitting. Today's stream is going to be an absolute banger, an absolute doozy of a stream. We're going to try to beat all of Princess Peach Showtime today. I didn't know how long it would take or how many technical issues we would face, because trust me, every single time that I stream, we face at least a couple technical issues. But other than a couple frame drops and some bad bit crushing and all that shit, I don't think it was too bad. We started out the stream pretty strong, and I was very optimistic that I would be able to beat it in 6 or so hours because I, had seen a lot of people who had beat it pretty quickly. But I did end up realizing that there was a lot more to this game than I was initially giving it credit for. There were different collectible sparkles in every level, as well as these little bows that you got once you freed all the theats, which are basically just toads, but they're called theats. And here's my idea, is this is because of thespians are like theater goers, but it comes from that, and the whole thing is obviously set in a theater, and so it's kind of cool that you're going around and rescuing these little theats, because they have been taken by Madame Grape, the big bad of the entire game, and as a name, that kind of sucks, but the bad guy itself, Madame Grape herself, it's pretty not the worst thing. And then all the levels are like overrun by these, little tiny Madame Grape minions, and you gotta go through everything and free the theats and defeat all the baddies throughout each and every level. There were also these bonus areas, and there was a lot of stuff to collect, so I was pretty pleasantly surprised, but this did mean that my playtime was going straight up. And here's the thing, you guys, I had to go to LA the next morning at 8 in the morning. So I was trying to get this shit over as fast as humanly possible, and somehow I completely fumbled the bag and didn't really end up doing that, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But I didn't plan to 100% the game, but I knew it would still take me a little bit to get all of the sparkles because I needed to get a few because every single new area was locked behind a certain amount. Now, to be real with you guys, this definitely isn't the hardest game ever made. The difficulty is akin to a Kirby game, and honestly, that's completely fine because the gameplay is there to back it up. But quickly, I do want to mention how this game plays because this is doubling as a sort of stream story time / review. And so the gameplay wise, it's actually sort of like a beat 'em up. And I think that's absolutely rad. I've honestly been really getting interested in beat 'em ups in the last couple of years after not ever growing up with them or playing them previously, and so seeing Nintendo's own take on that here was really cool, and this is something that I hope Nintendo continues to revisit, because I think the beat 'em up genre itself has a lot of potential that it just isn't really seeing so far. I mean, obviously, Way Forward puts out banger after banger after banger with flippin' River City Girls, remaking River City Ransom into River City Girls. But I'd love to see more of that. And maybe here's my other idea. Would you imagine if the next Princess Peach game they gave it to Way Forward and they make just something akin to River City Girls, but it's mixed with this Princess Peach Showtime formula, and it's sort of just a blend of the two, but it's in a pixelated style? I mean, how awesome would that be? I'm just saying, Nintendo, that's a free idea for you guys. Way Forward, if you watch this, go towards them and just poke at it a little bit, see what's going on over there. But moving on, each new level gives you a different ability, and I think there was around 10. So obviously, numero uno, you got Sword Fighter, you got Cowgirl, you got Patissieri Peach, you got Kung Fu, Detective, Ninja, Figure Skater, Dashing Thief, Mermaid, which fucking sucks, and Mighty Peach. There's a bunch of different cool ones, and all of them are sort of good in their own right, except I really did not like Detective Peach. It completely slows the game down and kind of destroys the pacing, which is unfortunate. It's a cool sort of idea, but it's just really not done very well here, and the puzzles are super simple, except they're just kind of convoluted, I guess. I just didn't really like it, and it felt like just a huge drag to get through. Obviously, I solved the puzzles. I'm not an idiot. I've got the brain power of about a 12-year-old in here, which some fucker on Twitter says I look 12, and I don't care. Did I ask for your opinion on how I look, sir? I did not. What do you look like? A couch potato? Have you ever gone to the gym? Sorry, chat, that was really intense. I'm sure a lot of you guys go to the gym. I'm just saying, this one guy, come on. He's got to relax a little bit. But to me, the best ones were easily Mighty Peach, Thief, and then the Kung Fu, because also after each of these, you're going to fight a sort of boss battle thing in this area, and you're going to use, your skills in order to do that, and it's pretty cool. Like every single fight sort of plays into that. But that brings me to my very first issue, which is the fact that you can't upgrade them. And I talked a bit about this on the Spawncast, so I'm going to show you guys this clip right here.
You know, one thing I wish they really did with this game is that like the powers like build on itself. Like, you know how like Kirby Forgotten Land, like you could upgrade the power and it was like so much cooler at the end.
Yeah.
Like I think it'd be so cool if like we go from Cowgirl Peach and then like the last one she gets like a pistol or something, like something crazy.
Just taking people out.
I don't know. It's a cowgirl, like a whip.
Strapped Peach?
Yeah. Something cool, you know?
Like 50 Cent Peach?
Yeah, she pulls like guac and she just goes crazy.
But just imagine if in the next Peach game, every time you revisited ability, it would give you, you know, like a flippin' upgrade. Like, I think that'd be super fun, and it would allow just for a lot more creativity and experimentation within these things where, you know, Cowgirl Peach goes from, like I said, a lasso to a gun. Or like, you know, Kung Fu Peach gets some nunchucks or something. Maybe that'd be Ninja Peach. I don't know, but you know what I mean? Like, just give us some weapons or something. I'd just like to see something. I understand it is the first game, and there's a lot of room for improvement there, so just like maybe in the future, way forward, again, if you're watching this, throw some nunchucks in there for Peach. She could kick ass like Mikey does. That's all I'm saying. Just dropping it in there. But that's roughly how the game plays, and honestly, it's pretty cool. But not only do the abilities really change the way you go through the levels, but something that honestly really surprised me was how good each boss battle was. When I was live on stream, let me tell you, I was not expecting these boss battles to be immaculate. I was expecting them to be something akin to Mario Wonder, or, you know, the newer Mario games where it's like you bop them on the head 3 times, you move on. No, these utilize every single ability that you use. Like each boss you fight with a different ability, right? You'll have one ability that fights the boss. And then that ability, they like use it in like 70,000 different ways and just make it so flippin' cool and fun that I super had a good time with it. And I posted a short where I mentioned that the boss battles were better than the Mario ones, and to be honest, I completely stand by that notion. And I got this comment by this fucker. I'm not gonna cross out the name so you don't get the clout, but this fucker, he was like, you didn't even play the game. So, honestly, he's irrelevant, but genuinely, each boss was really fun and creative. You had to use the new abilities in a different way, and honestly, the bosses just provided some much-needed challenge, I think, to the game itself. Also, without giving anything away, because I really don't want to spoil the Mighty Peach boss fight, but that one, if you've done it, you know that's, like, probably the coolest one. It's pretty rad, okay? I'm just saying, it's, like, really, really fucking cool, and I had a good time with it. Also, something that I found really interesting is that this game is somewhat cinematic, and what I mean by that is that, you know how in, like, Metroid Dread, when she, like, slides under, you know, the Emmys or something, or you get caught by an Emmy, like, there's a slowdown, sort of, and you can see Samus going in slow motion. It just makes the moment feel really epic. They utilize that a lot in Princess Peach Showtime, and I think it gave a really cool effect on just, like, the scope of this game, and showed me a lot of, like, the potential. Now, I don't think it was perfectly executed, because, to be honest, there were a couple issues, other than, you know, the fact that it wasn't upgradable. Number one, I think it was probably the performance, and a lot of times it was only noticeable during the loading screens, but the loading screens were going at about 5 frames a second, maybe 1 frame a second. Like, it was not very good. Yikes, the loading screen. How is the loading screen frame rate so bad? And even my chat was noticing it and kind of getting pissed off at it. So I completely understand that the frame rate is not where it needs to be, but personally, I didn't notice it too much in the gameplay. There were some times of slowdown, but I don't think it was too dramatic, and I don't really notice performance that much unless it's pretty egregious. So I noticed it big time in the loading screens, but in the game itself, I didn't really. But something I did notice was that the visuals were a little bit muddy. I didn't super love, you know, I feel like it was, like, almost sort of pixelated at some of the sides. Like, it kind of just pissed me off. And I just feel like, you know, this game should be something that is so polished, looks so freaking good. Because, you know, it's a Peach game. There's not some crazy scope here. It's a nice game. It's a fun game. But, you know, performance-wise, I don't think it should struggle as much as it does. And, you know, maybe that's a sure tell that, you know, we need a new system. But at the same time, Nintendo made the system. So I feel like you should be able to develop solid games for the system you made, but maybe I'm wrong, I don't really know. But the game itself is really paced well, and like I said, I didn't notice the thing too much. And I just really love the vibe of this game. It kept me interested the entire time, because I played it live on stream for 7 hours with you guys. That was exhausting. Okay? Hassan got buried for saying streaming is exhausting, but it was tiring, chat. I don't know. I was kind of tired. Maybe I was, my corny as a word freaking done for, but it was sort of tiring. And I used to work as a lifeguard, and I have real jobs all the time, chat, but it was a little bit tiring, okay? It was fun, though. Had a great time. Love you guys. Thanks for showing up. But something that I thought was really cool was that a lot of you guys watching me, and I myself, because of the demo, we go in with these preconceived notions that this game probably isn't going to be very good. It's not going to be the most fun thing ever, or like, you know, you're just not expecting very much from it. But something I saw that was really cool was over the course of these hours that I'm playing it, the chat is starting to sort of like be more excited about it and notice some really cool shit about it. Something that I thought was really fun is that by the end of the stream, I saw a lot of messages in the chat talking about how the game actually looked pretty epic. And I totally agree. This game was honestly really fun, and I'm really looking forward to what the franchise turns into, and I hope to God it becomes an actual franchise, because it's a pretty dope foundational idea. I give Princess Peach Showtime a solid 8.9 out of 10. It's actually pretty fun, with difficulty akin to a Kirby game that, you know, maybe you shouldn't buy for $60, but if this baddie ever hits 40, I think it's a surefire, you know, snag. If you've got a kid, if you've got a daughter, I'm telling you, young Josie would have gone feral for this game, so I'm very excited it's here. But thank you for getting all the way through the video. If you liked it, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, check out this video. It's a banger, it's a vibe, it's a good time. I'll see you over there. 7-hour stream, chat. Good God, that was tiring. It wasn't tiring. Maybe tiring is not the right word, but it was just a lot. But it was super fun. Nintendo and feminism, you know? Just want to see how those two mix. Goodbye.